All right, hello everyone. It's Mystic Juicer back with some more Yomi action, and we have IYL Season 6 Grand Finals. Huge shoutouts to Hopsu for recording this match. This is going to be CKR versus MR for Season 6 Championship. First to 4, all characters legal. Did a little bit of research, see the road that these players took to get here. So CKR went 10-3 in his season. He got a 70% win rate with Zane. He primarily used Zane. He used Trock and Geiger for a couple of matches. And MR went 12-3. He has a 60% win rate with Grave. And then counterpicked with a couple of different characters. Played some Quince, played some Gwen, played some Vendetta, like one-off matches all over the place. So very much expecting that we're going to see Zane versus Grave. Having a look at those particular matchups, CKR played against Grave 5 times with his Zane, and only his Zane, and he went 5-0. And MR has not played against a Zane all season. Not to say that he's not going to be experienced in the Zane matchup, but at least in IYL 6, he has not yet faced a Zane. So it's going to be interesting to see how this comes out. But it looks like, at least just based on the stats themselves, that CKR is the favorite in this moment. Now the question is, has he played against MR's Grave? Not sure. So very much looking forward to this. Again, thank you so much. I had to miss the live casting, so this is not me typing, this is Hobisu, who has done the recording for me so that I was able to cast it afterwards. I do not know the results of the match. I have not spoiled myself, so I am very much looking forward to see what we're going to see. Looks like the players are ready. And there we go. Yes, predicted Zane vs. Grave makes a lot of sense. So, how does this generally work? So I think in the early game and the late game, Zane probably has the advantage, and in the mid game, Grave may have moments of advantage. So obviously we know, Zane is a grappler in terms of he has grappler speed throws. His 5s and his 7s are both going to beat. He's got 2 ranks of dominant throws, so he essentially has a grappler position in this matchup. Starts off with a 10 throw. That's pretty damn bold. I like it. Checking to see where his opponent is at. Doesn't flip much of anything good, unfortunately. Or fortunately for MR. Ooh, big damage though. 24 damage and knockdown. So good at setup here. So we can see, like, this is the early game advantage of Zane. Thank you, CKR, for putting on this clinic for me. This is the moment where he has an advantage, right? Grave kind of wants to build a hand. He's not going to be poking with a lot of normals. He's maybe playing jacks. He's trying to block his way up. He's not going to do much throwing. And Zane just has the opportunity to go in with dominant speed throws. And if he doesn't want to go in, he has very powerful blocks, which brings us to his late game. In the late game, with a 4A super, he's going to have the dominant speed attack, 0.0 speed at 50 damage, as opposed to Grave's 0.0 at 10. So he wins that kind of speed war. Grave is going to want to probably hold on to his dodges as much as possible, so that he can play around raw anarchy. He's going to have to be leery of attacking into dodge into anarchy. And he still has to contest with those very fast throws at all stages of the game. However, in the mid game, because of Graves' 3A super, he technically, he's able to get to that super faster. He can potentially deal enough damage where the True Power of Storms is kind of like the dominant speed attack, and is online faster generally than Max Anarchy. And so far, CKR making it look easy, going in with a ton of damage. That is basically 2 combat wins, taking MR down to 45 hit points. Still working on a 6-card hand. So definitely in a strong position in this early game here. We know that his hand is 4-6J Ace 10. He's already lost the 6. Oh no, sorry, that was a block. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Wake Up Queen. Get rid of those meaty setups. CKR being very aggressive on, just in general. He's blocked the one time on Wake Up just to test for queens, didn't find any, and then went in immediately on the next turn. Gets undercut by King here, so nice spacing tool for MR. He is on a fairly low hand, but MR has shown in his matches against me and in his matches against Karalad, fighting against Trock, that he is quite effective playing at low hand. So definitely not afraid to go low in order to spend resources, deal damage, and then just push into the late game as quickly as possible. So we're still in a very we're in a relatively good position for Grave here, because again, Zane has not yet built a hand of any significant degree. Grave is not taking throws as much right now. MR is adjusted to put more attacks into his range. We haven't seen any throws yet. It's going to be interesting to see how aggressive he is with throws. He has attempted it. He attempted one in the first 2 turns of the game and got undercut. It's going to be dodge, probably into the king. Or you could just play the jack, deal 1 less damage, keep the king in hand. Very good anti-wake-up tool. Now, notably, Zane's king is weak to Graves' 10 ability. And MR, keeping true to his style, very heavy use of Martial Mastery to check on his opponent's hand. Okay, so we've got 2 6s and a 9. We've got a lot of dodges, but not really anything that he can dodge into. So I think if MR has a DP, now is a pretty nice place to use it, because you don't want to walk into 9Q9. There you go. Is going to take some damage here. Okay, CKR doesn't flip much of anything, so he's going to either tag a 9 onto here or the queen. Yeah, just takes the free damage. Definitely worth keeping a card in hand if you can just toss. Oh, sorry. Definitely worth keeping the card in hand if it's only going to cost you 2 hit points worth of damage. And CKR going into the dodge zone here, spending them as he finds them, flipping Ks. Nice free 10 damage there. Yeah, really no need to create or destroyer at this point. It doesn't appear that... oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, gets 2 aces and a joker out of his hand. That is... I'm not exactly sure. I guess there was 1 power-up. So he knew there was 1 ace in the hand. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Just in case you don't want to accidentally get True Power Storms make it an even match. Okay, MR digging back for those cards. Single dodge. MR definitely feeling the pressure. CKR dodging into a 9. If he doesn't flip anything better, it still puts MR at 10 hit points. Okay, CKR goes in. Yeah, it's like he tossed 2 aces out of his hand and a joker, so that's a lot of anti-meaty potential there. So why not go for it? MR gets single ace online. Finds another 7. Checking on Zane's hand, which is at this point just 6 cards. Okay. He does have dodge into slipstream phase for lethal, and he of course has dominant throw as well. So pretty much the nightmare scenario here. If MR has a joker back in hand, we did see one of those disappear to the bottom of his deck, which is now shuffled, but he had very limited opportunities to draw into it. So we'll see how MR responds here, and CKR should keep track of how MR responding to this particular situation. So he knows that MR doesn't have a joker in hand. How is he going to play against a dominant speed, throw, and dodge mix-up? Okay, and MR dodges on that one. So hopefully CKR has his wits about him, is keeping track of that particular reaction, because that is definitely a situation that he could find himself again in the future. Okay, CKR just blocking. He's gotten a lot of value off of just dodges with MR holding an ace in hand. So I'm sure he feels very, very comfortable just holding down back. Still has the dominant speed throw off of his 7. But at this point no longer has a known dodge in hand. And there it is. Unless MR has the other joker, this is going to be it. Oh, okay. CKR might go for the jack here, just in case it is a joker, but I think you probably just play slipstream. Yeah, there we go. Okay, game 1 goes to CKR. Very strong opening play from him. MR never really built up a hand and got himself into a stable mid-game position. So Zane could just run over him the whole game. It was basically the early game until the game ended. So let's see how MR adjusts here. Ooh, big 4 coming out. Gets undercut by the 2. This could be a bad start. Okay, good shenanigans flips at least. Basically nothing useful. A little bit of a trade-off of what he had last time. Okay, unorthodox spaghetti combos. Still only card neutral. So card neutral, 10 damage. Loses 2 2s though. That is important. The 2's a very important spacing tool. Grave gets very kind of limited opportunities off of his king. It's pretty much king plus into single ace for, a good amount of damage, 26 damage. But still, it's not going to have the value of, say, a straight or something into True Power of Storms. It's like solid but not incredible damage off of the king, basically. Very good to use after a throw, though. And CKR definitely seems to have a bead on MR right now. It's like, okay, you're not really willing to throw at this point. I'm just going to build up a hand. Yeah, MR using the copper strats. I'll just chip you out. I mean, Grave can recur queens. That's a workable solution, right? Yep. Need lots of kings. So MR still on a relatively undeveloped, I would say, early game hand. He spent some kings for not a lot of value. CKR sitting at 11. MR is now shifting to more block heavy range, saying, you don't really want to get aggressive. You want me to hang myself by attacking into your blocks. So I'll go ahead and hang back. Ooh, okay. Using the 7 as a throw. That's something I haven't seen him do, at least against Chalk, reliably. Okay, he had a backup 7 for the hand scan. See what he sees. Okay, 2 kings for cross-up defense. He does have 2 blocks. He's got some 5s. He's got 3 dominant throws in hand. So potentially, yeah, that's a really great hand. Could use a few more aces. He could power up the 3s, the 7s, and the kings to get Anarchy online. Ooh, CKR happy to see that is not a not the 3 ace super. Looking for that anti-king block from MR's side. Walks into single A. So at any time, CKR can get Anarchy online. If he throws with the 5, blocks with the 4, dodges with the 10, all of that is still in place. Not that he needs to play fast for really any reason. He can hang on to all of those cards, do card neutral dodges into 9. He might go for a king here. Okay. Yeah, not a tremendous setup. He knows that MR knows that he doesn't have any even attacks. So getting the knockdown, not particularly valuable. Just get card neutral dodges. Again, maintaining all of the cards in his hand that he can convert into max Anarchy. Very even life totals, but again, MR definitely at a disadvantage at this point in terms of hand size. MR with a single known ace in hand. Ooh, there we go. Finally punches out a throw. No face down. Is it real? Has he drawn the nuts? Could also be 4-5-6 into Jack. Okay, 4-5 ace. Not tremendous, but still good damage. MR basically rode that kind of combo into victory against both myself and against Karalad's Chalk. See how it works against CKR's Zane. Definitely a more comfortable life lead now. CKR still holding plenty of dodges, plenty of kings. There we go, dodging with the 3. Finds the Jack. No reason not to spend it over an ace or a king from hand for sure. Evens up the life totals just a little bit. Single ace, no queens in the discard. Thank you, Hobsu. Excellent Oh god, what? Observing? Yeah. Trying to remember what the StarCraft specific StarCraft name was for the person who just like navigated the map and stuff. Okay, CKR looking to find an uppercut or single ace there. Gets his dodge blocked. MR definitely feeling more stable in this game, finding his footing, feeling out CKR's rhythm. CKR may be a little bit wary of doing anything too bold. Okay, do we see the counter come out? This could really wreck MR's hand. Depending on what is in his hand, he may choose to take this here. Keep a queen, just wake up queen. It's fairly even life trades, so that favors MR in this position. CKR now at 35 hit points. Doesn't get rid of much at all. Bunch of 10s and a queen. MR pretty happy to let that go, I think. So we've got 6 cards that we know at the bottom of his deck. CKR's kings are going to be that much more effective. Still no queens played, so again, higher likelihood that he would have drawn into another one there. And every draw he gets, again, increases the likelihood that he's able to find the queen that he needs. 3 7s and a 6. So there's your cross-ups, 2 dodges, 2 kings, 2 aces. So throw into Slipstream is going to be 25. 6 7 into Slipstream is more. So CKR should be relatively confident that there's a queen in hand, goes for the dodge, MR stands up unpunished again. CKR might be thinking here, okay, well, I didn't see any aces. You might actually have it at this point. Now he's really thinking to himself, you definitely have True Power of Storms online. And here's exactly that situation I was talking about at the very start of this match. Now Grave has, for all intents and purposes, he has max anarchy. He's the one applying pressure. He's going to go in with a throw. It's going to be very sketchy for CKR on this next turn if he takes the knockdown here. Could just go for throw into 19, yeah. And that's what we see. So the other kind of difficult thing for CKR in this mid-game position where True Power of Storms is online is any successful throw that Grave chooses to take the knockdown on is going to mean a pretty vicious mix-up. Grave can odd normal, which CKR cannot block. He has to respond with either an attack or a gold burst or something. Or MR can just dodge if he thinks that's going to happen. Or he can just raw True Power of Storms, which is, if he thinks he's going to wake up with something weird, or trying to wake up, throw his dodge or something like that. So very, very dicey. Unlike characters with both even and odd blocks, who can basically take a 50-50 gamble on blocking the cross-up and then perhaps have the Joker as backup. So Zane can still do that, like a bad version of that. He can block to try to hit. The 50-50 is, I'm blocking because I think you're dodging, or I'll take the oh, what was that hidden? Did he really draw all of the aces? Holy crap. Wow, unfortunate for MR. That. Oh wait, yeah, does it? No, I don't think so. I mean, CPAD is in the chat, so. Oh wow, no blocks in hand. Brutal. Okay, so that counts as nothing. That was that was MR's game, and CKR with the spoiler Max Anarchy, the half-hidden Max Anarchy. Dang. Oh wait, no, he did power up for 1. Okay. So we had two known aces. He powered up for another one and then played it. Still, you know. Ooh, repeat. Okay, so they're really redoing game 2. This is exactly the exchange we had. Ooh, flips a joker early. That could also be helpful in the mid game for Grave. Okay, still good amount of damage off of that too. Okay, gets the block off. MR really wants to discourage throws. CKR has not been, I guess, game 1 he was very aggressive with his throws. Now he's basically used that reputation to get a lot of good blocks and a lot of dodges off. There we go, finds a 5. Doesn't flip much of value. Still has 8 cards remaining in hand, so can tack on a fair bit of damage and still be in a relatively good position. Nope, decides not to. Just tag on another 12. Already dealt 30 damage and 9 cards on the next draw, whereas MR is going to be at 7. Okay, let's see what he's sitting at. So this should be a fairly weak hand, given the way he played there. No, I mean, seems pretty good on my from my end. Doesn't have any throws, or at least no dominant throws. Okay, so yeah, no dominant throws. That's specifically the thing that hand is kind of weak on. He's only got the 9 throw that he can really do much of anything with, and you definitely want to save the 9s for just putting into your opponent's face. So MR might go to a blocking place. He could feel relatively safe doing that. Okay, actually goes for the dodge. Interesting. So going for the dodge there could indicate that he has True Power of Storms off the single power-up. You can't count on that being the case, but it definitely seems suspicious to be dodging from that position. Ordinarily, you'd probably want to block, get yourself up to a higher hand size, make True Power of Storms more reliable, get more options in your hand, that kind of thing. So seeing a dodge there is a little bit scary. CKR, though, seems to be responding to the weakness in his hand by just going to block City, at least for 1 turn. So playing conservatively. Okay, trying to duff out a throw there. MR gets the, I think, like the first successful block of the game off, or of the set off. It definitely feels that way. Okay, shows him a jack for knowing the opponent. So 2 4s, 2 6s, a 9, queen. I mean, that shuts out basically every aggressive option that's known in CKR's hand. CKR could still play for dodge, but he doesn't really have tremendous amounts of stuff to dodge into. He could dodge into the 9, I guess. Ooh, rare footage of MR lying. Combo into ace here? No, just goes for the knockdown. Okay, this is smelling it more and more like True Power of Storms. So again, even blocks. Goes for the cross up 3, gets exploded. Does he have a 10 though? Oh, does not. And CKR escapes with his life. Creator and Destroyer, does he get rid of True Power of Storms? He does. It was, in fact, real. Ooh, 3 aces, a queen, and a joker getting taken out by that hand. That's pretty sick. So I expect CKR to get aggressive on this turn. Not sure exactly what the queen count is, but that is a lot of DPs in the discard, so why not go in? Okay, goes for the 9, gets queened. I think that's generally fine. I mean, taking 10 hit points, not tremendously awful. Okay, MR getting an ace, and also, importantly, shuffling his deck so that it's more likely he's going to draw into them, as Creator and Destroyer does put those cards on the bottom of his opponent's deck. Ooh, duffs out a throw. Surprise throw coming out of nowhere, perhaps, or that could be a counter throw. So MR just powered up for single ace, so CKR might be feeling relatively safe. Sorry, CKR might be feeling like, oh, okay, well, now you think I'm going to turtle up, so I'm just going to counter throw you. As Zane's throws are quite excellent, leading into some big damage. That is now 2 known aces in MR's hand, slowly working on rebuilding True Power of Storms. Catches a dodge. It's like, you're definitely not throwing me this time, my friend. Okay, knocks CKR down. True Power of Storms setup. There's the dodge. I don't know if there's a known Joker in CKR's hand. Oh wow, doesn't even face down. Just takes it. Oh, that's very kind of you, Hobbs, but that's fine. I'm surprised we didn't see a face down at all from CKR there. I guess it must have been known Oasis, or he just didn't believe. I'm not sure. Future historians watching this, let me know in the comments below which it was. If it was hubris, it's like, no, he definitely doesn't have 3 aces right away. Ooh, talking about hubris. MR going for the throw. Actually, that's not hubris at all. Going for the throw there makes a lot of sense. If he thinks that he can pressure with the threat of kings or queen or single ace, all of which would be lethal, all of which must be beaten by a dodge at this point. Dodge or block, I guess. So single king in the discard, single joker. I guess kings don't really matter. It's only the jokers that are going to matter here. And MR does not go in. Goes for the block. So that tells me MR's hand is pretty bad. And that he's worried about 2 attacks. Okay, didn't have the Martial Mastery last turn, probably, as you'd probably prefer to play it. Okay, there is a known Joker. It's only really going to be useful as Gold Burst. And there's only a single ace, but there is a jack. So throw into 7 jack is actually pretty scary. Or throw into 6 jack is actually pretty scary. Okay, that's 19. That is 19 free damage off of the dodge. Bringing things close. Okay, MR powers up for the dominant speed attack. He's got the pressure here. He does not want another game stolen. Single dodge is not going to be lethal for CKR here. Yeah, not particularly relevant hand. Yeah, Nothing of particular relevance there either. Gold Burst is the only thing. Yeah, okay, there we go. MR takes the win. Does not allow that stolen game to exceed his grasp. And we are evenly matched going into game 4. Very fast play from CKR here. Question is it an immediate 5 throw or is it a block? It is a block, and MR punishes it with a jack. So that is going to be an 11 damage jack unless it is dodged or undercut with a 2. Okay. CKR steadfastly blocking, MR steadfastly jacking. And this is a great start for MR. Really, really strong start. He's not feeding Zane cards. He's so they're both increasing their hand sizes at the same rate. And again, as I mentioned, generally the mid game is going to go towards Grave. So the more even their hand sizes are as they go into that mid game, the more it's going to favor MR. So finds a knockdown. Could be going for a test of Zane's. Oh, okay. No, he's just gonna know. He's just gonna know what's in his hand. See how things feel. All right, no kings, 2 2s though. So he's got to contend with Wake Up 2 as an undercut. Goes for single ace to try to punish. Deals a little bit of chip. Gives Zane a card. But generally, on the whole, I'm not too mad about that. Picks the ace right back up. Ooh, and brings a friend too. That is a fair amount of dodges to lose very early on. That's a 4 already in the discard for for Martial Mastery, and then 3 3s. So if CKR is able to push this to the very, very late game, that could end up being important. As it is, MR probably with True Power Storms in hand. Goes for single ace. He's really expecting CKR to be more disrespectful. Going for throws, going for pokes. Ooh, no Creator and Destroyer. I guess with one ace already out of the hand, he can breathe easy. He's probably saying, okay, so there's 2 known aces in your, or so there's a known ace and an expected ace in your hand. So long as True Power of Storms is not online, I'm relatively happy with this situation. With 2 aces out of the deck, it's a 1 in 40 chance, or I guess if there's 2 aces, yeah, it's a 1 in 40 chance of him drawing the 3rd one, or the final one. So very low odds that MR is going to get silent True Power of Storms, basically is what I'm saying. We're just going to put the 7 on there. Yeah. Is a Zane player capable of living a good and righteous life? And I realize the irony of a Troc player asking that question. Yeah. Ooh, MR catches the dodge. CKR going a little blodge heavy here. Are we going to see that jack show up? There it is. 21 points of damage. Takes CKR down to 48. MR now on a 6-card hand, though. Tough spot. Or potentially a tough spot. 11-card Zane. Depends a little bit on his hand composition. It hasn't seemed like he's really been able to convert a lot of damage. We know he's got 2s. So he should be, he should have the tools he needs to control the neutral to a certain extent, but MR has been able to shut that down to, to some degree by threatening True Power of Storms and then single ace. Okay, not much on the flip here, but no face down, so expect CKR to find some damage in his hand. Finds the jack. Opportunity for him to get some damage in. Are we going to see a creator and destroyer? Yeah. Okay, there's that third ace. So 2 10s, 2 jacks, and an ace. Not an ideal hand. Would have preferred, of course, to get rid of a queen. He is at a life total where it's not an automatic 9 or 6 play here. Because going 38 versus 60 is, it's at least a material life deficit. Ooh, goes in with the throws even. MR has shifted away from his very early start of blocking his way up very consistently to mixing in some more aggressive play. I think on almost every Creator Destroyer knockdown turn, MR has successfully DP'd his way up. Okay, gets Martial Mastery off here, thinking a little bit about what the other card is that he wants to discard. Okay, no dodges in hand. That's very important. There's not going to be any 10s in MR's hand, though, as 2 of them have gone to the bottom of his deck. So contending with that king is potentially difficult. CKR has a very good neutral controlling hand. He's got dominant throw and 2. MR goes for something that beats both of those and trades fairly well with the king. Gets that blocked. And CKR up to 11 cards. With the amount of dodges now in the discard, Maximum Anarchy is going to become ever a more powerful move. Ooh, not unless MR freaking kills him first. It's like, oh, this long play, huh? You know what's better than long play? Just killing your opponent. Just murdering them with damage. There we go, 19. 50% of CKR's remaining health points. Another Martial Mastery. Just digging for that final amount of damage that he can close this game out with. CKR has really not been able to get opportunities to really exploit and get much value out of his knockdown turns. Oh, and has the 10 and another face card. Does he have enough damage off of this, though? CKR does have a Joker. Okay, MR waits it out. 2 cards in hand. This is potentially a scary place to be. There we go. Anarchy potentially online. Actually, no. We know he doesn't have it. Okay, yeah, there we go. So gets 2 aces, 3 aces. Still got, yeah, there's the 2s. So he's got the dodge on his 3, a 7 for the throw, and a no kings. MR double checking really quick. It's like, oh, what's your hand composition? Okay, yeah. 2 dodges, 2 dominant throws, and something to deals 50. Definitely a spooky position for MR. Now, he doesn't die if he gets hit by Anarchy. But that still leaves him in a position where dodge into anything and dominant throw close things out. Or it could be the other way. He could dominant throw his way into, sub 50 hit points for MR. Ooh, was that a timer scam? What is the lowest rank of cards in his hand? Oh! CKR finds the dodge. Face down from MR. Is it real? Do you go for it here? Or do you allow this to pass? This is 2 cards gone. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about tacking on the damage there. Because if it's a bluff, he goes down to, he's back down to 2 cards again. And if it's real, he's back down to 2 cards and he doesn't have the Joker anymore. Yeah, I'm a little leery about that play. See if it pays off for CKR. Gets another dodge off. I think this is, I mean, you guaranteed play Anarchy here. There's no way you expect your opponent to have both Jokers at this point. Does he, though? Oh, wow, doesn't play it? My God. Nerves of steel on CKR right now. So he has Anarchy and 7 as a cross-up. Yeah, 2 available queens. That's not going to help him. Oh, gets the cross-up 6. He's got the 7 already in hand, so all the nans are going to be free damage. Got him. Yeah. 6 queen, 7 jack. Okay, 6 queen, jack. Oh, he might have already spent the 7. I don't know. I feel like the 7 was still in there. Maybe he's hanging on to it because he wants the dominant speed throw. 24 hit points. That is throw into slipstream phase for lethal. CKR can lose to throw into anything, but lots of 7s gone. Goes for the throw and gets obliterated by the anti-wake up Max Anarchy. MR too frightened to block. So nicely done by CKR for making the comeback there. That was a huge comeback. Pretty sure that was from 11 hit points to something like 60, nearly 60. Maybe it was exactly 55. Still, big differential there. Okay, early game aggression from CKR on this one. Runs into some nice consistent damage. King into jack. Immediate power up for aces. Again, MR putting himself into a low hand state. That ended up really hurting him in the last game. Basically allowing CKR to put a lot of pressure on his options. Okay, finds a 2. Does he have a 10? He's willing to spend here. He does not. Gets put on his back. 4 cards in hand. Known single ace. So he has cross-up defense. If CKR has a 9, he may just play the 9 here, trading 9 for 12 damage and knowing that he got rid of the single ace, so that it's less likely to run into True Power of Storms. Might be a trade he's willing to take. Puts him at 56. That's not a terrible health total to be at. If I'm MR here, I'm probably taking a 50-50 on a block, hoping my single ace discourages. If I have a queen, I mash it, though. What just happened? Oh my God, MR eating CKR's lunch on that one. Disgusting wake up the 8th throw. That was foul. That was absolutely foul. I would not be happy as CKR there. Oh no. It just keeps getting worse. 5 damage, knockdown, knowing the opponent. Yeah, show him that single ace. That is the one he powered up for, so no new information here. Just threatening 12 or 45 damage. Ooh, the Joker. CKR saying, I see your checkmate attempts. I see your guaranteed value. Let me show you some guaranteed value. So very nice spot to play the Joker. Very little reason for MR to reveal a block or a dodge on that turn, because he's thinking like, oh, okay, what are your responses to single ace, right? Wow, 3. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, he already had the 1 ace. It's like, wow, 3 aces on turn 6. That's incredible. Yeah, no, just forgetting game states that happen immediately, like preceding the one I'm talking about. Ooh, gets poked with the 2. I think the throw is a little surprising there. A little overeager, perhaps, for MR. Expecting CKR maybe to play a slower roll. Gets the knockdown instead. He did play one of the 2s, so he can no longer power up the 2s for the final ace. But he is 1 ace away from max anarchy. So 1 in 40 shot, basically, every turn that he will draw into it. No queens yet revealed. We know MR's got aces. Wake up 10 throw. Surely the 10est of possible throws in this matchup. The only way that throw could have been tenor is if CKR had known anarchy in hand. And now we have True Power of Storms online. A scary situation for CKR. Yeah. So slipstream phase to undercut, or 2s to undercut cross-ups, or even block. Those are the only options he has. Now MR has been pretty aggressive with odd cross-up attempts on these kinds of plays. But he's also been willing just to play single ace. So we will see what we see on this reveal. Block, block. Wow, I'm actually surprised MR did not go in there. So if I'm CKR, I'm thinking, okay, I definitely have anarchy now, but I'm also thinking, oh, you didn't go in on that. Oh, he had the dodges. I was about to say, like, okay, so you blocked, so you didn't have dodges either, because why wouldn't you dodge if you had that setup? But it appears that perhaps MR did not actually have True Power of Storms on that one. Unfortunately, I was not watching on counting dodges on this next turn. Ooh, does he have the 10? That would be a very impressive hand if he did, but I don't believe so. This is where things get very scary. If MR does not have a block... Okay, he did have the block. All right. So, gets rid of True Power of Storms, gets rid of a Joker, but probably gave MR the blocks he needs. So welcome to hell, MR. You've got to decide if you're getting anarchied or if you are going to get thrown, if your obvious block is going to get thrown. Can't afford to clash queens here. Oh, gets crossed up with the 9. A massive free damage. Immediate face down from MR. As CKR, probably disrespect this, because I've sent one of your jokers to the shadow zone, so, and it's a pretty small hand, so it probably didn't push the other joker into your hand. CKR thinking about it? No, decides to go in. Yeah, no joker, free damage. Putting MR at 27 hit points on a 4-card hand with 4 mystery cards and 4 aces in CKRs. Tense, tense stuff. Dodge, dodge. CKR's dodge is basically, please hang yourself and allow me to take this win. MR's dodge is, oh god, please let me get around anarchy. Yeah, there we go. I like to see the blocks. No reason to dodge here. You probably don't have anything valuable to dodge into. MR's game plan right now is don't die and try to get a hand size that you can be aggressive with. These definitely seem like desperation face downs. I don't think CKR needs to respect any of them. Yeah, big damage. MR down to 5 and knocked down. Unless he has a Joker and he's willing to play it right now, he is dead to Max Anarchy. I think. Max Anarchy deals 5, I'm pretty sure, not 4. Yeah, there it is. The chip out victory. And CKR now 3-1 against MR. So MR has got a ways to go. He's got to dig real deep if he wants to climb back into this set. CKR on set point. 1 match away from taking IYL Season 6 Grand Finals. Yomi Bowl Championship history. Nice undercut. Is MR going to go in further? Wow, yes. It's that meme with the, it's like, I will never stop going in. I told you I would never stop going in. Once again, I must make clear that, though I have said it many times, that I will never stop going in. I will continue to go in. This remains a true fact about me. Ooh. Gets counter-thrown. And unfortunately for him, this is going to be a lot of... Ooh, yeah. This could potentially be a lot of damage. This is going to be guaranteed 15. Could tack on a big normal here to get some free damage. Tosses in a 7. So MR may take some information from that. He's like, okay, so you tack on the 7. If you had the 9, you probably tack that on instead. So you probably don't have the 9. So maybe I block even because it's higher likelihood that you have the 6. Oh, so that's either a very good draw. Oh, actually, you blocked correctly. I just assumed. I got hit by that. Let me just say that as a commentator, I definitely got hit by that 9 super, super hard. Nice value trap from CKR. Or just playing to his hand. Like, oh, hey, I drew a 9. Why don't I tack this on? I definitely don't have a 9, and he should know that. So MR reveals a 10. CKR just goes for the block. Both players draw a card. Slight advantage CKR on that one. Still, MR has found his way back to his starting hand size. And a little bit more. At least 1 ace known in hand. There's a dodge. Spooky, spooky early dodge. Immediate face down. Yeah, CKR taking no chances here. He's like, if you just have True Power of Storms, I don't want to die. I do not want to die right now. Okay, 2 aces. Bunch of blocks, no kings. So he has 2s and aces as his cross-up defense. Oh! Chooses not to play them. Perhaps afraid of dodge there. But in any case, getting opened up slightly there. Could have been much worse, though. So now we have 2 known aces in MR's hand. There was no face down on that, was there? No, okay, yeah, he already faced down with a single joker, so that makes sense. So confirmed. No second joker yet in CKR's hand. And suspected true power of storms in MRs. How does CKR respond? Goes for the dodge, gets thrown. MR taking the opportunities where he can. Ooh, looking to stuff a wake up 2. I think. Yeah, so that could mean MR just doesn't have the throw that he could have gotten away with there. He has strong True Power of Storms pressure. CKR is playing respectfully of True Power of Storms. Ooh, yeah, 2 respectfully. And MR finally plays it raw. CKR gets away with the cheeky dodge and dodges into Jack. And once again, the story of this set, CKR sitting at 12 cards in hand, MR at 5 on knockdown. Three known aces in the discard. There is no way that CKR holds back on this next turn. He is in go-in mode. I mean, there's all 4 queens floating around in the deck, but it's a 5 cards in hand versus 32 in the draw pile. So CKR can choose to go for a dodge, but I don't expect that he does. Yeah, takes 10, gets popped, but that's fine. He's at 36, and his opponent has all 3 aces in the discard, or 3 of his aces in the discard. Graves' max damage is really hard capped by True Power of Storms. Otherwise, he has very consistent damage. He's got very good throws. You know, he can throw into 6 Jack for 21 or King King for 21. But even then, it's going to be 2 turns, and that is 3 cards removed out of MR's hand. Okay, 4th ace. Sets CKR to 24 hit points. I mean, there is always, I mean, I know I downplay it, but there is always the opportunity to just kill your opponent, right? It's a pretty good strat. If you kill them, they're dead, and they're no longer alive, and you've won, and they've lost. So all of that is very good. All right, 12 card Zane. Yeah, here we go, converting for anarchy. Does MR have a 7 and play it here? Chooses not to. So he's got the 2. The dodge is the more obvious play here, for sure. Now, he doesn't die to anarchy. But going down to 9 hit points versus 24 is pretty spooky. Makes the right call. He's going to get a queen off of this, so he can guarantee 12 damage. He's also got the single ace, so he can just drop the single ace here. Yeah, single ace makes much more sense, actually. Oh, okay, going for straights. All right, I see you. I see you. What's better than a single ace? That's 2 aces. 2 aces and a queen now in MR's hand, confirmed. There's a lot of DP. That might be enough DP in hand to get away with playing queen against anarchy here. Now, I think MR has played a single joker. He's about halfway through his deck, so he could have drawn at the second one. CKR definitely higher likelihood that he's got the second joker necessary. Oh! You hate to see that kind of thing happen to someone. Okay, no good flips off of shenanigans for CKR here. So he is going to have to spend cards from hand. However, luckily for him, he's got 12 other cards in hand. So this is not going to hurt him tremendously, and it is going to hurt MR tremendously. Okay, just take 6. That's fine. He still lives to Anarchy Clash. Yeah, that's the easiest creator and destroyer of his life. And the other Joker disappears. Immediate reshuffle, but yeah, scary situations. 2 queens in the discard. Okay, we got Max Anarchy, we got a Dominant Throw, we got 2 dodges. Pretty much the nightmare situation. CKR digging, or MR digging for Jokers, for Queens. Again, we know he has a single ace now. He just powered up for it. So he can Clash Anarchy and then kill single ace. Or kill with single ace. However, CKR's dodges are going to be very scary here. All eyes on MR. Tournament life hanging in the balance of this choice. And there it is, raw Anarchy running into King. MR perhaps looking for lethal off of that King. Now at 3 hit points. CKR may still be in a position where he can throw and not die. Especially if he has a Joker, he can throw here with basically complete impunity. Ooh, gets tossed. There's no way it's lethal here. But he does take the knockdown. He's going to get an opportunity to either chip or pressure with single ace. If MR does not have a 10 and a face card in hand, Wake Up King can just close this out for CKR as well. 3 10s in the discard, very, very low likelihood that he can afford to walk into a king here. Can't block. He's gonna have to dodge his way up. Single king in the discard. Oh, squeaks under the Wake Up Jack. Oh, follow through? Yeah, okay, there we go. Put CKR at 1 hit point. Staying alive. Oh god, so tense. Okay, Martial Mastery. Two dodges, Dominant Throw, and the King. So CKR, unless he drew the King this turn, had the opportunity to close things out last turn. I have to imagine that he didn't have the King last turn, because you definitely play the King over the Jack there. Tense stuff here. Any successful anything will close this out. CKR could go for a Hail Mary throw here. He has games to give away. He can play risky. Dodge, dodge. Really scary situation here. Can MR stay alive in this series? Bring it 2-3. Close the gap. All the timer pressure on MR now. Oh no! Gets outsped. And that is the end of IYL Season 6. Congratulations to CKR. advancing out of the group of death with many IYL champions in it, and emerges triumphant. CKR, yes, finally the originating founder of International Yomi League, finally takes the championship. Very, very beautifully played. 4-1, a commanding championship series, and MR unfortunately has to contend with a second place finish. But what a run by MR! Relatively new player. He's only been playing for a year and a half, I think, something like that. Played pretty much mono grave this whole tournament and has shut down many players throughout this event. So kudos to MR. Well played. Unfortunately, a bit of inexperience in the Grave versus Zane matchup. And that cost him in this final set, because CKR was absolutely prepared and really punished MR's low hand style play. So good stuff. I mean, very competitive final series in spite of the 4-1 ending. But unfortunately, yeah, I think MR went just a little too aggressive, perhaps, in some spots. But yeah, really good set. Really enjoyed watching it. Fun decision making on all sides. So thanks again. So first, kudos to both players. Beautifully played. Thank you to Vengeful Pickle and all of the people that organized IYL Season 6. And thank you especially to Hopsu for making this recording possible so that I could first watch the series at all in a kind of live environment and also do the commentary for it. So really appreciate that. Until next time, until next International Yomi League, enjoy yourselves some Yomi. Cheers.